morning everybody, and welcome to the 17th fairway at Magenta Shores. I'm Scott Spence, golf professional here at Magenta. Today just a little tip for you based on sloping lies and how that can affect the way that you play the shot. Now obviously at Magenta we're blessed with beautiful fairways, but they're not flat, they're very rolling, we'll call them. We'll be very nice and we'll say that they're rolling fairways. So you are going to have situations where your ball's going to be on an uphill lie and it's going to be on a downhill lie. You're going to have side hill lies as well. Now the way that then can change the way that you play your golf shot is really important. So just quickly today is we're going to have a quick discussion on how we would maybe address that, and address is the right word because it's all based around setup. Okay, so I've been unfortunate. I've hit two shots here. One of them's ended up there's only a couple of meters difference here. One slightly on the uphill and then one slightly on the downhill. And that's really going to change the way that I play both of these shots. So let's stick into the uphill first. Now, the important thing to remember with all golf shots is that we want to ensure that our spine angle, so when we set up to a golf shot, our spine angle should always be perpendicular to the lie of the land, okay? So on a flat mat, when we're on the practice range, that means that our spine is going to be very much vertical, very much up and down. On a sloping lie, or on an awkward lie, let's take this one for example, where we are on an uphill. This means that to have a perpendicular spine, to have a spine 90 degrees to the level of the ground you're standing on, we're going to have to lean back a little bit. So my spine is not going to be completely up and down. I'm going to be now leaning back a little bit. The reason for this is going to help me achieve a much better angle of attack through the golf ball, and I wouldn't be then hitting down into the slope with my normal golf swing. How's this going to affect my golf shot? Well, quite obviously what's going to happen is my club is essentially going to be tilted back a little bit on impact. I'm going to be swinging much more on an upward movement relative to the ground, and what that means is the ball's going to fly higher in the air. What might I do? Well, I might choose a lower lofted golf club to accommodate, or to try and, lower that flight down, maybe to try and get the distance that I'm looking for again. I'm going to struggle to rotate through that golf shot. I'm going to feel a bit more stuck on my back foot. There's a very good chance that I'm probably going to turn the golf ball over. For a right-handed golfer, that means that I'm going to hook the golf ball, possibly. So to take all of those things into account. So to play this shot here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set myself up. I'm going to keep my ball position slightly forward in the stance, again to encourage a slightly upward hit. I'm going to aim slightly to the right, just in case I do hook that golf ball left a little bit. And I've chosen one extra club for the job, knowing that the ball's probably going to fly higher as well. As you can see, I have stayed back on my feet, on my right foot a little bit. I've not quite done the full rotation that I normally do. Now we walk forward a couple of meters, and now we're onto the downhill lie. Now, the opposites all work. So now, because the ball is in a downhill lie, I'm going to have to lean forward. By leaning forward, that's going to encourage a slightly more downward hit than what I'm used to. I'm going to be de-lofting the golf club. Things to know are, probably the ball's going to move right a little bit. It's going to leak, it's going to fade off the slope a little bit, okay? The other thing is, obviously, we're going to lose height. So you may choose to use a more lofted club to ensure that you do get the launch angles and the heights that you require for the golf shot. The ball will land on a slightly shallower landing angle, which means it's going to run more. So you might not get the complete carry distance that you'd look for, but you might get some extra run at the end of the ball. I'm going to keep the same golf club for this instance, but I am going to just hit the shot. So I'm going to lean forward, I'm going to have my spine slightly more slightly tilted forward, so I'm perpendicular with the slope. I'm going to move the ball back in my stance as well, just to ensure that I do come down onto the golf shot. Another pretty good shot for me. You see that I took a divot there. I was really trying to hit down on the shot. The one on the uphill didn't take as much of a divot because I was trying to keep a little bit shallower, trying to work my club along the slope. I hope that helps. We'll have another tip out to you soon. As always, any questions, come and see me in the golf shop. We've got our free members clinics available Tuesdays and Thursdays. They've been really popular. They're a great little thing to come and do. We go around a whole variety of topics. Nothing's the same twice. And also, if you want to have something a little bit more one-on-one, then please come into the shop and we can book you a lesson, a private lesson. We use TrackMan and we'll really try and help you out as best we can. Thanks for that, and we'll catch up soon.